Go ahead.
When Bajo Kishikwege Nindao, Gnoshen them. Agintam.
Wani, Wanabuju, Menande Aseaje Nabekwe, Mukwado dem.
Strong woman song. Sing the strong woman song for all the women across Turtle Island. Way, way higher, hey yo. Way, way higher, hey yo. Way higher, hey yo. Way higher, way higher. Way higher, hey yo.
I don't know what happened there. Okay. Did you want to tell about that song a little bit?
Okay, so we shared that song with yous. That's the Strong Woman song. And that song was given to all the women. And that came at a time when the women really needed that. A lot of our women were being incarcerated down in Kingston. And because of the separation from the children and family, it really took a toll on the spirit of our women. And they started committing suicide in the prison system because they were missing being at home with their children and their community and families. So Creator seen that and didn't like what Creator was seeing. So he sent a grandmother down to go teach one of the ladies the Strong Woman song. And the grandmother told this lady, you don't have drums here yet, but you have your spoons. And that's what you're going to use. You're going to play those spoons on those bars and sing that song. And instructions given to that lady was for her to sing it and to teach the other women to sing it. So that song talks about Creator's love for us, but also telling us to find that gift of strength that Creator gave to all of us, and for all of us to find that within ourselves, to do what we need to do to walk in a good way. So once they started doing that, the women started getting healthy and strong and started going home, started educating themselves, and things have changed. It's not too much women anymore going to the prisons. There's still people going, but not quite as high as it was back then. So today I sing that song the way the grandmothers taught me when I went out fasting. And that's how I carry that song today. And that was the instructions I was given, to sing that song and teach it to the women. Amigwech.
Okay, so we're gonna light smudge.
Amigwech.
Good. That always feels better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to clear energy. Start.
Okay, so
Little
today...
Little prayer.
Oh yeah, okay. So we'll start our today's teachings today with a prayer. Now that we've opened with a song. When Bajojam Nido. Kishikwe Maba. No Mabanichke. Quedmanem. Vishuan Mishnang, not Mushnang. Where any Vishich Gang Manda. Vishinak Mampi. When Bajom Shomsak, Nokmasak. Wabanang, Shaonang, Epigishmak, Kied Nangayaik. Amigwech Mayaik is Namagek, Gaginot, Migwech Nikit. When a Bajo Gagi a ke, Migwech Gagi Mayain is not my gain gay. Migwech can a gay go key machine. Me Jim and I'm skekiak, Amigwech. When a Bajo Nimki Beneshi. Amigwech Gagino Mayaik is not my gate, Gaginot, Migwech Nikit. When a Bajo can not do a daganak. Amigwech Mayaik is not my gate, Gaginot, Migwech Nikit. When a Bajo can wesiak. Migwech Gagino Mayaik is not my gate, Gagino, Migwech Nikit. When a Bajo Mishomis Jesus. Migwech Gagi Mayain is not my gain Gagi Migwech. When a Bajo Gagi Dibakak Jesus Nokmis. Migwech Gagi Mayain is not my gain Gagi Migwech. When a Bajo can wesiak. Migwech Gagino Mayaik is not my gate, Gagino, Migwech Nikit. When a Bajo can a Henani Bajik to walk. Migwech Gagino Mayaik is not my gate, Gagino, Migwech Nikit. Regiment Mishwen Mish not Mushkin Nishnabek, he oxygic. Memdige oxygen going a yagic. Shwen Mish not Mushwen Wimniot. Hashwen Mish not Mushkin Nishnabek, Manda sorrow time is in Kadek. When you're young grief. Shwen Mish not Mushkin Nishnabek, Wevena Wimniot. As you must say, hot yo. grief time is in Kadek. Hashawen Mishnat Moshkin Nishnabek. Manda addictions is in Kadek. Shwen Mish, not Mosh. Mim Kung Yu Bamadwan is in Kadek. Hashawen Mishnat Moshkin Nishnabek, Bakazajik. Shwen Mishnat Mosh. Where and Wim Yot, Manoa. Weeba, Win Gewat, we keep Nagaswat, Win Gewat. Shem Nedo. Chimmy got chicken gecko, Gashman Mish, when Mishnang, not Moshnang. Me got.
Language.
So in that prayer, I acknowledge our Creator, our grandfathers and grandmothers who sit in each of the 4 directions, all of our ancestors, the animals, Mother Earth for all that she provides us with, Nimki Beneshi, thunderbirds for blessing us with the rain and the snow, and the standing tree people for all they provide us with, and the animals for being there to help us also.
Language.
Alrighty.
So today we're going to be talking about the 4 races of man and the animals in each direction and what gifts they all carry. And last time we spoke about the medicine wheel, so can I just lift that paper up?
Yeah.
We're just going to continue with teachings of the medicine wheel, and these teachings also are a part of this teaching.
Okay, so when we're looking at the 4 races of man, it's usually for some people the red is over here in the east, is represented over here, and usually the yellow race, people of the southern doorway, are represented in the south doorway. And in the western doorway, it is the people of the western doorway, the black people, that is represented here. And in the north, it is the people of the northern doorway, the white race, that is represented here. And Creator gave these 4 races of man put on earth here to live together in peace and harmony.
So like this one, right?
Yeah.
So it depends where you are.
Yeah, it depends where you are. So in this area, we use these colors. This represents the red race, the yellow race, the black race, and the white race. And when Creator made us, He made us all equal. You can see this is 4 quadrants, they're all equal. So every person, man, woman, child, baby in this circle, in this on earth, we're all equal. The only difference is the color of our skin and the gift that Creator gave us to carry. So when we look at our people here in the eastern doorway, the gift, well, we'll talk about the animals first. The eagle is the one that sits in that eastern doorway. And then we move down to the southern doorway. It is represented by 2 animals there, the deer and the mouse. And we move over to the western doorway, and that animal that represented there is the buffalo. And we move to the northern doorway, and the animal that is represented there, sits there, is the bear. So each of these animals teach us about the gift that we were given. And for our people, our Anishinaabeg people, Creator gave us the gift of vision. And that eagle teaches us and reminds us of that gift we were given, and to use that gift in a good way, to not just look directly in front of us or side to side, but to try to have that 360-degree vision when looking at things. And that eagle also teaches us about our gift of inner strength that everyone has, that we all have that, and how strong we are as a people, as an individual. You know how that eagle can fly from the east coast to the west coast, gathering up all those prayers and sema for the people, that we too are gatherers.
I'm just going to write the directions so people can see.
Okay. And then when we move to that southern doorway and we look at the deer and the mouse, that deer teaches us the gift of sharing. How that deer freely gives up his life so that we may have food to eat, so that we can have clothing. So that's the teaching of that deer, that gift of sharing and the gift of love. And then when we take a look at the mouse teaches us about the gift of humility. And because the mouse is a small animal, he teaches us that she is a necessary and important part of creation in the animal world, and that she has a role and responsibility here on earth. And so the mouse teaches us humility, to be humble, to acknowledge that we are no less than or above anybody else, that we are all equal. And the gift that the yellow race was given from Creator was the gift of time. If you notice, our people of the yellow race, they have a lot of patience, and they move quickly through. They're fast learners because they have that patience to observe, listen, and focus, because of that gift they were given of time, and that they don't waste time. They're always doing something to ensure the well-being of their family and their community. And then we move to that western doorway and we look at the buffalo. And the buffalo teaches us about the gift of respect. And it is the black race that is represented in this doorway. And they were given the gift of feeling and rhythm. Today, you see that through their music, through their dance. So that buffalo teaches us that gift of respect. Respect and honor. To respect and honor one another as human beings. To know that we are all a sacred part of creation. And how the buffalo provides food for us, clothing, hides for our homes, for our ceremonies. And the buffalo is the one that is very spiritually connected in all of our ceremonies, because it was the buffalo, white buffalo, who brought sacred pipe to our people. And then when we move to the northern doorway to look at the people of the northern doorway there, the white race, and the gift that was given to them was the gift of movement. And we see that today in all their many inventions. You know, the cars, the trains, the planes, the technology, all the new gadgets still being made, designed. They're always moving. Their gift of movement. So that's their gift. And the animal that sits in that doorway is the bear. And the bear teaches us the importance of family, to protect and nurture your family, especially the children. And that bear also teaches us how to take care of ourselves through healthy eating, but also to remember to fast. Now that bear is already fasting for us. So the bear also teaches us to prepare for the winter, to ensure that we have enough wood for the winter to keep our homes warm. We have enough food supplies for the winter, and whatever else we may need for our families and children and grandchildren. So those are the different gifts of the 4 doorways, 4 races of man, and the 4 animals that sit in those directions. And in the middle of this circle is each and every one of us. So in these 4 directions, there's also the 4 elements that Creator gave to us. And that eastern doorway is the element of the land, a kith. And that rock, Grandfather Rock. And what they teach us is that the rock teaches us about that, reminds us that we carry that gift of strength within ourselves, and that the red race were the ones that were given the responsibility to take care of the land, nurture the land, protect the land. And when we move to that southern doorway and take a look at the element that sits there, it's the plants and the trees. And the plants teach us about the medicines, and the trees teach us how to be honest. And, you know, we look at that stem of our sacred pipes. That's what that tree reminds us, the stem reminds us to be honest. And the teaching of the plants is to share and help one another stay well. And then we move to the western doorway. And the element that sits there is our life-giving force, Nebe, the water. And the water teaches us about the gift of respect, and that the water is always moving, flowing, reminding us that we too need to always be moving in order to stay healthy. Then we move to that northern doorway, and the element that sits there is the air. And the air provides us that gift of oxygen so that we can breathe. The gift reminding us that wind, reminding us that we should always be moving, reminding us that change is growth. So that's how these elements and animals work with us and teach us about life. And in the center of this circle here is our sacred fire that each of us carry. That sacred fire that sits within each and every one of us. And that's the part, very special part of Creator placed within each and every one of us. Why we were given all those teachings, why we should respect and acknowledge every person with kindness and respect, because they carry a part of Creator within them. And Creator put that in our hearts. So we nurture that fire, feed that fire good things as we walk on this beautiful red road, beautiful sweetgrass road that Creator gave us to live on. So I'm hoping that I didn't miss anything.
So can I ask you some questions now?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes we see in the western direction, some of the medicine wheels might have a wolf in it.
Yeah. There. that is true, and because the different areas have different animals that represented, and for the wolf sits in the western doorway for the Cree people. And a lot of the other elements and animals are the same, but that is the only difference that I know of so far. I'm still learning, but a young Cree woman shared that with us.
And so, like the buffalo being a sacred part of our ceremonies, because the white buffalo calf woman brought us the pipe, the sacred pipe.
Yeah.
The wolf was the first one to walk with Creator, creating everything on the earth.
Yeah, and it's also the wolf who runs and gathers the prayers and the sema that is being put into the sacred fires at nighttime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's his responsibility. Why he's a very close helper to Creator. It's like that eagle.
Yeah, I was
The
going to say
eagle
that.
does
The
it in
eagle's
the
on
daytime.
the other side, right?
Yeah, and then the wolf does the work at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have the eagle here
Yeah,
in the eastern direction, and the eagle also brings your prayers to Creator.
yeah.
And then the bears, I'm Bear Clan, so I like the stories I hear about bear, about protecting their community, about how they have a big border and they kind of patrol
Yeah,
a big area and they kind of make sure everybody's safe in the
because
in
when
their
we take a
community.
look at the Bear Clan people were the protectors in the community. They were the what we would say police today. Yeah. So they were the protectors, and they're the ones that kept the harmony and order in our communities before the interference took place.
Right.
But they're also were given the responsibility to carry the medicines for the people.
Yes.
A lot of the
A lot
Bear
of
Clan people are medicine people.
healers and
Yeah.
medicine people. Yeah. hmm And then when we look at the mouse,
Obganoji.
yeah, it reminds me of, because the South has to do also with when your younger years,
Yep.
and the mouse is kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Like scattered.
Yeah.
Like goes all over
Yeah.
real quick and
Yeah.
doesn't finish stuff and just kind of, so it
Yeah.
reminds me of that stage, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why, we have that
In the South.
gift of time too, eh?
Right.
How that relates to
Yes.
us. That that time is when to
when
have
we
that
think
patience.
we have all the time in the world.
But also have that patience for those
Yeah.
little ones when they're going all over,
Yeah.
those teenage years.
Yeah.
Yeah. To have that humility and understanding that they'll eventually get to a place of balance before they reach young adult.
And then the deer
Yeah.
often represents gentleness and
Yes.
kindness and
Always reminding us to be gentle and kind to others, but more importantly to ourselves.
right.
Yeah.
And probably treat those young ones with kindness
Yeah.
too. Eh?
Very important to always treat our little ones with kindness, even when they're not behaving the best.
And I really like how you said that sacred fire in the middle. It's like all of these races of men are equal, and we're all connected in the middle, and we
We're all connected. We're all
carry
equal.
that sacred fire.
Yeah.
And
Everyone.
you know,
Every man, woman, child, and baby that walks upon Mother Earth.
so when we get to the middle, we're not really separate.
No.
We're all the same. We're all human beings, and we're
Yeah.
all carrying light.
Yeah.
And
That's why Creator called us humankind. We're the human family. Be kind to all humans.
and all of these teachings help build your sacred fire
Yeah.
inside your
Yeah.
heart.
They all nurture your heart and flame your heart and your light you carry to be bright.
And then I was thinking about when you were talking about the white race and how their gift is movement, and it made me think of how they've populated many countries and used air to do that on
Yeah.
their boats. And
Yeah.
so that's a pretty interesting way to look at it, how they colonized everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And how the Anishinaabe people take care of the earth is still their responsibility.
Still a responsibility, but it's because of the foreign laws in place today, it's kind of hard to really take full responsibility. That's why we do the water walks.
And
To
protest.
try to take,
And fight for the rights of the land.
yeah.
Yeah. And the plants and the trees and all of that. Yeah. What other kind of questions did I have? Oh, and when you talked about the black race, you talked about rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have they're very good with music, with rhythm, eh?
They're very in tune with their inner feelings of who they are as a people. And when you listen to a lot of their songs, you can connect right away because you feel
Lots of
the rhythm
yeah,
and the feelings that they bring out in you.
and they play all kinds
Yeah.
of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the yellow race, I was trying to think of how the plants and trees, I guess you could say they might be known for their plant medicines and
Yeah, they have a lot of their ways of living is very similar to ours.
okay.
Yeah, they connect with the animals, the land, and they're very spiritual. They're very spiritually strong, just as the Anishinaabe are. And they learn different plants. They have a lot of good medicines. They've learned how to use the plants, just as we have. Yeah.
When sometimes in the medicine wheel, sometimes the black is blue. I
Yep.
have some Lakota friends that they use blue in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, even in our ceremonies, we use in our rain dance lodge, we will use the color blue to represent that doorway. Because this doorway is also the doorway to spirit world. So black represents that spirit doorway. So we always use blue to represent that doorway. to protect all that life that is in this lodge. We acknowledge that doorway because in the east, this is where life begins. We're coming in through that eastern doorway when we're born. And then when we die, we leave through that western doorway, that spiritual doorway, to go back home to Creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why people will use blue.
I don't know what other questions to ask you. I'm trying to imagine what kind of questions people would have. But this being a different format, it's hard to know what people will have questions about. But I think it's pretty well covered.
So if there's any questions, just write them down and send it to us. And we will try our best to answer them. And if we don't know, we'll try to find the answer from someone who does know. Because I too am still learning. Every day I'm still learning. I'll be learning for the next 60 years.
So this is just a quick summary. So these are two different wheels. Just the two directions. The colors are different. Depends which area you're in. So this is the one that we use here. And this is Ojibwe teachings.
Yeah.
And so this is north, the white. There's the bear that sits there, and the element is air. And the east is red, and there's the eagle that sits there, and the land, the earth, or Mother Earth. And in the south is yellow, and that's where the mouse and the deer are, and the plants and trees. And the western doorway is black, and sometimes blue. And this is where the buffalo, and in some areas the wolf sit, and it's the water element. And in the center is our hearts, our sacred fire that we need to take care of and always fill ourselves with good things, good teachings from the medicine wheel and all the stuff that we've learned today and in the last video and what we keep learning. So thank you very much for watching, and maybe we'll close with a song.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you next time. Miigwech.
And look forward to meeting you in person.
Yes.
Okay, because we sang a song for all of the women, we need to balance that and sing a song for all the men.
Okay. Miigwech.